Welcome back to another Marvel Legends UK review. Welcome back to another Marvel Legends action figure review. Today we are going to be taking a look at the new Nightcrawler from the Hasbro Marvel Legends X-Men Wendigo Build A Fugure Wave 2019. Here we go! Back with the second review from the Wendigo Build A Fugure Wave. Today we're going to be looking at the Kurt Wagner Nightcrawler action figure. This figure a lot of people are excited about, extremely excited about. Me, I didn't think this version was going to surpass the previous Toybiz one. I was pleasantly surprised with the Beast rendition that Hasbro have done, who now sits pride of place on my shelf. And we're going to see if this guy actually does the same and replaces the old Toybiz Nightcrawler, which we'll do some comparisons with later on. The figure itself comes loaded with numerous accessories, multiple heads, exchangeable hands, the gauntlet, or the sword, the cutlet, sorry, not the gauntlet, the cutlet sword, and the Wendigo Build A Fugure left arm piece. As you can see, there is more of this fantastic artwork down the side of the box. On its mirror image. We have posted some of these images to our Instagram account already. We do follow the artist, and the artist follows us back, which is nice, Mr. Miller. On the back, as you can see, there are 6 figures in the wave to collect in order to complete the Wendigo. The actual bio of Nightcrawler reads, with sticky hands, sharp tail and piercing yellow eyes, the troublemaking mutant Nightcrawler scales walls and teleports from place to place. So that's the only gripe I've got about this figure so far, looking at it in packaging, is that it doesn't come with a bamf effect. But what we'll do is at some point this week, we'll show you how to recreate a bamf effect very easily for your action figure display. What I'm going to do now is break them out of the box, have a look at the articulation, have a look at the detail, and do a comparison between this one and the old Toybiz figure. So here we have Kurt Wagner, aka Nightcrawler, out of the packaging, and well done Hasbro, you've done it again. You have managed to surpass what was a legendary figure on my shelf for the more updated action figure in Nightcrawler. Does miss a couple of bits of articulation, as you may have seen from other reviews. It's missing the toe articulation and also the finger articulation as well. But other than that, the actual figure itself is absolutely sublime. The head sculpt itself is a more younger rendition of Nightcrawler. If you can see, if my camera goes into focus. This is the head that comes on the body whilst it's actually sat in packaging. From what I can see, it's a fairly new sculpt right the way throughout. This upper piece here, we've got some rubber kind of material which we've seen with the Sinister, so it's not a tough plastic that seems to be moulded onto the actual figure itself. I can't actually tell. Oh, there we go, yeah, so there is a seam. It looks like it's actually moulded into the actual body itself, this rubber material, and then glued into place. So that's quite a nice finish. The hair on the actual Nightcrawler head sculpt has got some blue wash, as you can see. That's nicely done. In terms of paint blemishes, there's none on the figure. It's all nicely finished. The tail, it does have a articulated piece. It's not a rubber bendy wire like on the previous Nightcrawler that we've got, so that's pretty cool. It can move around and pose into different areas. The joint on the left wrist seems a little bit stiff. Can move it. There we go. So that's moving now. So we've got articulated wrists on a hinge. We've got the elbows, which are double jointed, can't exceed 90 degrees. Shoulder, standard ball joint, hindered by the rubber wing, shall we say, on the Nightcrawler costume. You can spin it all the way around, it doesn't hinder it in terms of moving around, but obviously if you wanted to get his hands up by his head, it is slightly hindered by the fin. We have got a ab crunch, which, as you can see, that's just a ridiculous amount of ab crunch going back, and then if he wants to have a look at his toes, he can crunch right the way forward as well. We have got a waist articulation. Same on the right arm, we've got double jointed elbows. This hand, which is made for holding the cutlet, as a up and down movement rather than a side to side. So I think we call that the roll of the dice movement within the hand itself. That hand is actually interchangeable, and we'll swap that in a second. We've got the double jointed knees in the legs, and then obviously we've got the feet, which are on a standard hinge with a pivot as well, so really good articulation in that. So overall, really beautiful figure. If we swap the hand out for the non-cutlet gripping hand, that pops in quite nicely. In fact, would we say that that is a cutlet gripping hand? No, it's definitely the other one. So the hand that it comes with in box is the hand that will hold the sword. As you can see, nice firm grip on the handle. Bit of a nightmare to get in. It's like my fingers are bent a little bit further than what they should, so we may have to stretch all that just a little bit in order to get the cutlet in without damaging the paint. It's a bit tricky to get in. There we go. So that's that in there. And as you can see with the cutlet itself, we've got a nicely painted gold handle and silver blade. That's not a paint blemish, that's just a shadow that's being picked up by the light. So all in all, that's a really nice finish as well. And obviously with the roll of the dice motion in the wrist, we can get him pointing his trusty blade at his foes, his enemies, which is pretty cool. So, sword aside, so if we have a look at the second head, this is more a happy Nightcrawler. It's a pretty tight head to go on. There we go. So it's be a nice smiley face from Nightcrawler. You'll have to let us know in the comments below which head sculpt you would prefer. Trying to get it into focus. There we go. It's a nice smiley Nightcrawler. Nice relaxed look. And then the third head, which I think is going to be my personal favourite, is the more pissed off, I'm coming at you kind of look with the eye shading that we've got. As you can see, nice screaming. I've just exited a Banff kind of look. If you remember in X2 when he was introduced into the Fox universe, when he was taking out all the guards within the White House, this is the kind of look I'd imagine him having on his face as he took the guards down. And again, no paint imperfections on mine. Again, blue washed throughout the hair. So yeah, overall really, really nice figure. Very aesthetically pleasing. The other accessory that Nightcrawler does come with is the Wendigo Build A Fugure. This is the left arm, and we will be reviewing this guy when we've built him all together. What I'll do now is a quick comparison of the new Hasbro 2019 Wendigo Marvel Legend against the old Toybiz version of Nightcrawler. So here the guys side by side, and as you can see, very similar sculpt. Some very notable differences, like obviously the leg pegs. These were on an old-fashioned ball joint. These are on the new Hasbro kind of T-joint. We've got the articulated fingers on the Toybiz version, which Hasbro doesn't have. They're on both hands, and then obviously we've got the toe articulation as well, which the new Hasbro one doesn't have. This figure has stood its test of time. It's been sitting quite happily and proudly on my display for a number of years. Where the actual figure benefits from an ab crunch and also like a ball joint. As you can see, there's two different types of movement, albeit not much, but we've got like ab swivel, ab crunch, and then a waist swivel on top of that as well. So there was three points of articulation in that one area alone. This guy being a very agility-led character, it's quite important for him to be as agile as possible. And again, this actually had the rubber fins originally, so it's great to see that Hasbro has acquired that kind of aesthetic look and brought that over to the new version. If that had been a pure solid plastic, which is what I was expecting it to be fair, it might have hindered the articulation a little bit more on the actual figure, but the fact that it's like a nice pliable soft rubber is great to see. And then obviously on this guy we had the bendy tail as well, which was a great feature. Unfortunately, because of the actual the way that this figure is made, there's no way, I don't think you could actually transfer this tail over to the new Nightcrawler. But all in all, he's a fantastic figure. So yeah, that's the Nightcrawler action figure review. Let us know what you think in the comments below. I think the vast majority of people that we've spoken to so far are very, very excited for this figure, and the fact that it's 2 per case, it shouldn't be too hard to find in the initial release. Let us know who's your favourite in the wave, who else you're looking forward to, and join us on the next one. Stay safe, keep collecting. Thanks for joining us. Bye bye.